Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Flow Yoga. And today we're going to do a grounding practice and focus on reducing anxiety as our intention for today. So from here, let's actually let's actually start standing. Let's start standing. I'm not feeling starting sitting today. So props, you may want a couple blocks and a strap for sure. Otherwise, once we come to standing, let's come to about hip width apart. So hip width apart is where your hips, knees, and feet are in alignment. It's not about how wide you think you are, it's where that alignment is. We're gonna zip up and in. Good. Here. Good. And also notice if your toes are in alignment with each other, or do you have one foot forward of the other? If you can correct that. Knees are soft. I'm just gonna bring my hands to my heart. Good. And just notice where you feel and where you feel it. And could you feel your weight evenly distributed into both feet? So is there equal pressure on all four corners of the feet here, both sides of the heel, big toe and pinky toe mound? Are your knees locked out? And if they are, could you soften just a bit? And taking a big inhale and expand, and a big exhale. Big inhale. Let's hold and slowly exhale. Now from here, feel free to bring in the Ujjayi Pranayama. That's the back of the throat constriction. With this breath, we're going to do a round of box breathing. We'll do that about 4 times. And so taking a big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Return to the normal breath. You can set that intention here. If anxiety is not your thing today, you can make it whatever it is that you need. And then from here, arms to the side. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and come down, pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way back up. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time, pressing through the feet and the legs. And coming all the way back up. Good. From here, your right hand's going to grab, or the left hand's going to grab the right wrist, lifting up, getting a side bend over. Now try not to shift the hips out here. Try to keep them in line with the ankles. And breathing, expanding. And then we'll come back up. Good. We'll switch. We'll lift and taking it over. And then from here, we'll come back up and we'll reach. Good. And then from here, good, we'll come back down. So let's go into a standing cat-cow, a standing cat-cow. So from here, feet are still about hip width apart. And I'm just going to squat a little bit. Hands to the thighs. Good. I'm zipping up through that front body. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to round. So here's my exhale. I'm rounding the spine. I'm tucking the tail. Inhale, chest comes forward, pelvis drops back. Nice cow pose. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale. Pressing through the feet, coming all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So we're going to take a slow flow here. I'm going to recommend that you use your blocks for this first one. We're just going to do a half sun salute here. Feet will stay hip width apart. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, bend the knees and come down. Hands to your block. Good. Just let the head and neck be free. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Good. Pressing through the feet and the legs, pressing into your block. Lift and lengthen halfway. So you want to be really protracted here. We don't want to hang. So really press into the block. Knees can have a slight bend to them, so we don't want them to be locked out either like that. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Now on this bow, maybe we let the arms release here. If it would feel good to you to grab opposite elbows, let's do that too. Finding just a little bit more traction. And then we'll release. Good. Hands back on your blocks. Good. Pressing into the feet and the block. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet, through the heel line, hip to heel. We'll come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go into a modified sun salute A. Inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planing hands. Good. Step back into the plank. Knees can be grounded or lifted here. So if you're grounded, you're going to look more like this. Okay. Shoulders are over or behind the wrists. Elbows are turning forward, and I'm still finding that length here. Okay. If you're lifted, you'll look like this, pressing back through the heels. I'm not letting the hips zip or come up, but I do want to find that length. Pressing through the heels will allow you to get more of the thighs and the glutes online here. And the first affirmation I'll give you here is I inhale peace. I exhale worry. I inhale peace. I exhale worry. I'm going to lower the knees here, turning my elbows forward. Elbows come straight back and coming back down. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. And then from here, taking the hands a little forward into the side, rolling the shoulders back, belly button is in. Find that baby cobra. Find that baby cobra. And then we'll slowly lower that back down. Good. Big inhale. Exhale. You can find the baby or maybe you find the medium cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. No crunching or hanging in the low back. And slowly lower that back down. Inhale. Exhale. Find your baby cobra, your medium cobra, or your high cobra. Good. Remember, elbows can always be micro bent here. And slowly lower that down. From here, hands under the shoulders, press back into a child's pose. A child's pose. Find a child's pose that works for you. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between here. You're welcome to take your arms long in front or hands back by the ankles. How about repeating to yourself, I am in charge of how I react. I am in charge of how I react. I choose how I react. I choose how I react. And once you're ready, good, we'll come back up. Good. Pushing through the feet, coming back to all fours. Good. We're going to take this into a downward facing dog now. So if you're a taller person, take a half a hands width or full hands width forward. If you're a shorter person, you can stay where you are. Fingers are spread nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and thumb. I'm going to tuck the toes, shifting back as I press in and forward into my hands. I'll let the knees and the hips lift up. Good. Breathing and expanding. Now find your good form. Shoulders are away from the ears. Your head and neck are free. You're pressing in and forward into the mat. Elbows can turn more towards the middle finger. Good. And you're free to lift and lower the heels here, bend and stretch the legs or walk your dog. But press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mound. From the downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Pressing into the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. From here, hands can come to block, shins or thighs. You want a long back here. So this is a round back. This is a long back. Use your abs. Let the knees bend if that's too much. Exhale and we'll bow. From here, pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, mountain intention. Good. Okay. And then from here is to be, I am in charge of how I feel. I'm in charge of how I feel. So I can choose to be more neutral, more even. I can choose to get on an elevator, if you will, and go up to a higher floor that has lots of love, hope, positive things up there. Or I can choose to take an elevator to a bottom floor and be down into the depths of despair. Okay, and just be a hand wringer. Okay, and so it doesn't mean that you don't need to feel things or you can't be nervous from time to time, but you're in charge of where you take that, and you're in charge of bringing yourself back to that neutral space, regulating that nervous system. So from here, we're going to do a full sun salute. A big inhale and we reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back into plank. You choose take or skip a flow. Remember, if you're up dogging it, you want to push forward with the feet. You'll push back with the shoulders. Finding the breath. From that down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Pressing into the feet and the heels, lift and lengthen halfway, hands to block, core center thighs. Exhale, back. Pressing through, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, mountain intention. Okay, from here, we're going to come out wide, and I'm going to make sure I've got a block on each side. And then I'm going to step out wide here. Good. So from here, make sure your hips, knees, and toes are tracking forward. So we're not doing one leg is turned out or something like that. Make sure that they're forward and your toes are even. Good. So we're going to zip up here, hands to the waist, relaxing the shoulders. Big inhale, exhale, and we'll fold. Now you can take your hands down when you feel like you need to. Find a nice long back here. So push that floor away. Press to the outer edges of the feet. Good. Now, different things for different people. This might be enough for some people. I'm going to turn my elbows forward. So I'm turning my elbow more in line with my middle finger. Good. Elbows are going to come straight back. They may or may not touch the floor. You go to where you can go. Let the head and neck relax and be free. Let the mind be free. Let the breath be free. And pressing through the outer edges. Good. We'll come back up. So different things. Some of you need to walk your hands up the feet to come up. Some of you are going to press to the outer edges and then use your legs and your core to come up. So always choose what's best for your body in this moment. We're going to go to the right side first. So from the hip, the right side, everything's going to turn out. From the left, everything's going to turn back in here. So just kind of find where you need your alignment to be. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Good. You can bend that front knee here. Good. And then you can reach into your warrior two. Breathing. With a bent front knee or a lengthened front leg, we'll take that back into exhausted. So here's another anxiety help. You are in charge of your social media content. So you can choose to post, you can choose not to post when something happens. You can choose to scroll on or post on somebody else's page. Nobody makes you do either one of those things. You choose that. You can also choose who you follow or unfollow. Good. Inhale, exhale, coming back to the warrior two, pressing through the back, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Now everyone's going to take this right hand to your block, have your block at your highest setting. And once you've got that in place and you're more stable there, are you then able to let this knee come a little bit more forward because now you've got that stability where maybe you didn't have it before? So I'm using the block to actually come deeper into the pose. Okay. And then from here, zipping up, good. I can turn my chest to the side. I can keep my hands here. I can take it up or I can take it long by the ear. Breathing. I'm also pressing out of this block with my shoulder, so I'm not hanging here. So, for example, with politics, I don't follow or like a lot of different news outlets on my social media. I've got those on my phone. I don't want it on my social media. I've got this free add-on to my Facebook called Social Fixer, where I put in keywords and it filters things out of my newsfeed. Looking down, good. And we'll lengthen and come out of there. Good. And we'll turn in. Everything's going to turn back in. Good. So the Social Fixer is not 100%, but it's about 98% accurate. So it's really, really lovely. Just to do social media the way I want to do social media, see people's pictures, what are they doing, what are you into, not a bunch of political opinions. So from here, we're going to zip up and we're going to fold again. And breathing. The other thing I've found with wisdom, I've been on Facebook since 2008. Even if I agree, you know, I just don't want to be bombarded with all of that stuff in my social media all the time. And when I disagree, I don't post political things anymore. People don't change their opinions based on what they see on social media.
And social media is also not my source of news, not my main source, but not my source of news in general. So, there's all of those kinds of things just adds more anxiety, and I don't want that. So I just filter all of that out. So there are ways to filter. People will be little algorithms and all this stuff, but there are ways that you can control that. And it makes a wonderful, wonderful difference on your anxiety and mental health. I cannot tell you what a difference that has made for me. So try Social Fixer for your Facebook. And then from here, good, we'll come up. Good. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet, you can walk the hands up, or you can use your legs and your core to come back up. I do that on the other side. So now this left leg is going to turn out. Good. Right leg and everything's going to turn in. Good. Once you find the alignment that's appropriate for your hips and your body today, good, you can take that bend. Good. My front hip is back. And then I'm going to open up into my warrior two. And breathing. How about I am resilient? I am resilient. Say that to yourself. I am resilient. When you're ready, maybe we take that back, reaching up. And when ready, and we'll come back to your warrior two, and we'll go into the extended side angle. So I'm going to press to the back, and I'm going to lengthen here. I'm going to reach for that block again. Good. And the block is going to be a little bit more helpful if it's more under your shoulder. And then once I'm here and I'm stable, I'm going to let that left knee bend a little bit more over that ankle because I've got the stability now where I can be there. Good. And then I'm just going to open the chest to the side. You can keep the waist or a hand on the waist. You can take the arm up or reach nice and long. Good. So breathing. So again, I'm using my block not as a crutch, but help me get deeper, be a little bit more easeful in this deeper version of this pose. And once you're ready, good. Arm can come up. Good. I'm going to look down. I'm going to lengthen and come back up from here. Good. Now from here, you can put a bend in that knee. Good. You can come down, swivel up that back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Any kind of flow that you would like if you want one. Good. And then from here, once you're ready, good. We're going to get into the hips just a little bit here. So left leg is going to lift 3-point. I'm going to bend that knee and I'm just going to open and close. As I open and close, I'm really pressing through that right leg. Good. And then from here, hip and knee are even to the floor. I'm going to use that right leg to come forward, stepping or picking up and putting the right foot forward between the hands. So you really want this foot to be far enough forward because you not only want that heel grounded, but you also don't want this deep pressure, like right here. See how my knee is forward? That creates a lot of strain. You can pick up and put your foot more forward. Now from here, I'm going to take my block on the inside. Good. Good. I'm going to find that nice up runner. I'm going to find my link. I'm pressing back through that back heel. And then from here, we're going to take a twist. So you choose. You can take your right hand to the block or to the floor and open up to the left, or you can ground that knee. Find what feels good to your body right now. For me, it's going to be more of a grounded knee today. And then from here, good. I'll take that down. Untucking the back toe, lifting the back knee. I'll take my block more forward. Planting the hands, front foot steps back. Let's drop down, finding a child's pose. Find whatever child's pose that would feel good to you right now.
Taking the breath. Breathing. And once you're ready, good. We'll come up and find your downward facing dog. So we're going to do that all again on the other side. So right leg's going to lift 3 points. Good. Bending that knee, just kind of open and close. Good. I'm pressing through that left leg as I open and close and coming back down. Good. Looking forward, pushing with that left foot as I step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. Good. So again, good. Find your length. Good. Find it where you need to find it. And then you choose your path. You can ground down that knee. You can keep it lifted. Left hand can be on the block or to the floor. Find your twist to the right. And once you're ready, good. I'm going to take that down. Good. From here, when you're ready, good. Untucking or tucking the back toe, lifting up, plant the hands front, foot steps back. You can take or skip a flow here, or you can come down to a child's pose. Choose what you need. Come back to your breath. You notice what you feel and where you feel it. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to grab my blocks here, and we're going to come into a lizard pose, also known as gecko, also known as dragons, depending on your lineage that you tend to follow. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to start with sticking my left foot forward, take it way forward. Good. And then once I've got this lunge, you can choose where you go. So let me show you from this angle. This will be a little better. Good. So now I'm here. You can take both hands on the inside, and you don't have to use blocks. I'm just using them because I'm a short person, so they help me have better form. Good. So you can be here. You can take the foot and leg out wider from the hip. You can turn it out to the side. You're free to come to forearms here. Okay. You can roll onto the side of that foot if you'd like. You can tuck the back toe, lift, and press. So these are all options. Good. Breathing, breathing. So how about this feeling is temporary? This feeling is temporary. And then once you're ready, good. If you went onto the edge of the foot or lifted that back knee, good. We'll bring those down. If you went on forearms, you can come back up. Good. And then if you took the leg out wider, we'll bring that back in. And then from here, just to kind of counter that a little bit, we will do a half split. So you can just kind of rock back a little bit here. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to switch sides. So from here, I'm going to take my right foot more forward. Good. Coming in. Getting kind of set up and nice, making sure that you're okay to be here. Good. And then both hands with or without the blocks, they're going to come on the inside of the foot. Good. I'm going to take my leg out wider. I'm going to externally rotate. Good. And then I'm going to take forearms to the floor. So again, you go to where you can go, and this side might not look like your other side. That's okay. And I'm going to roll onto the edge. Good. I'm going to pick up. Breathing, zip up that center line. Shoulders away from the ears. And we'll bring that back knee down if you had it lifted. We'll bring that foot down if you rolled to the edge. We'll come up to the hand. I'm going to bring everything back in. Good. And then we'll take that back, just getting that nice little counter stretch. And when you're ready, good. We are going to come to a seat. I'm just going to place the block to the side here. And I'm going to bring my blanket back in. So I'm going to take my feet forward. And always support the back of your knees here. If they like to kind of lock, you want to keep them a little bit soft. Toes are going to point towards the face. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, nice long body coming forward. Good. Maybe you don't touch your feet or what have you, and you want to bring in a strap here. You can do that. Breathe and expand. Keep a long back if you've got a back issue. You can fold in if you don't have a back issue. Once you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. I'm going to take the right leg over the left. I'm going to hug that in, nice and tight. I'm going to twist to the left. Twisting to the left, and coming up. Good. You even have the hand on the inside. So how deep your twist depends on your own body. You just don't want to crank through the back. So how about I release worst case scenario thinking? I release worst case scenario thinking. Very rarely, if at all, has my worst case scenario thinking come to fruition. This being the day after Election Day in the United States, since the 1988 election, I have had people tell me with every single president that they are the Antichrist. Good. We'll come back up and we'll come back to center. None of them have been the Antichrist. Some have been better than others for sure, but they were not the Antichrist. The world did not end. We're all still here. To release worst case scenario thinking, big inhale, exhale, and take that fold. Notice if you can reach a little bit deeper now than maybe what you did before. And then from here, we'll come back up. Good. Next, we're going to bring in the left foot. We'll cross the left foot over. Good. We'll come up nice and tall. And then we're going to twist to the right. So find your twist. It may not be quite like the one that you did on the other side. And release that worst case scenario thinking. Another way to think about it from the worst case scenario thinking, what does it do for you other than make you feel worse? Or panic buy stuff, or just panic in general. What does it do for you? What positive thing does it do for you? It doesn't really do anything. It keeps the cortisol, the stress hormone, out of whack. Keeps your nervous system out of whack, always in the fight or flight response. And then we'll release and come back to center. Okay, from here, we're going to come onto our backs now. And for this, I'm going to recommend that you have one block and your strap. And as you come down here, just take a moment to roll shoulders back, move any clothing out of the way, maybe taking the feet as wide as the mat. Hands can be placed over the belly. Let's take a moment. Let's come back to the breath. Big inhale. Long exhale. Big inhale and expand.
Long exhale. One more time. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then from here, making sure you're nice and zipped up, gently let the knees go side to side. Be in control of the knees. So for now, speaking of control, I let go, trying to control the things that I cannot change and cannot control. And we'll come back to center, bringing the feet more back in line with the hips. Good. From here, we'll take the heels in just a little bit closer, arms to the side, rolling the shoulders down. Big inhale, exhale, pressing into the feet, the arms, and the shoulders. Lift up into that bridge, lift up through that chest. And gently lowering that back down. Good. From here, we're going to take that strap and take the right foot into the strap. Good. You take a strap in each part of the hand. Let the knee be micro bent. Your other knee can be bent or extended long. It's whatever feels best to your back. And then gently let this leg come in. Good. Now you can adjust your grip as needed. Upper body's going to stay grounded. Big, expansive breath. Good. We'll come back up. Both pieces of the strap into the right hand. Both hips, both shoulders are grounded. Zipping up nice and tight. Letting that right leg come out to the right. And maybe wiggling around a little bit here to find your best spot. Now, if your other hip and other shoulder are coming up, lift that leg up a little bit higher. We're not quite ready to be out that far yet. Maybe bringing the awareness back that as you exhale, maybe the body just sink a little deeper in there. We'll come back up. Good. I'm going to relax that other leg, switch out the hands. Good. And then I'm going to let this leg come over. And just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here till I find my best spot. And I want to try to keep this shoulder grounded. Now, if you're going to move beyond the 45-degree angle and go into the twist here, just be mindful you keep your foot in your hip in that same alignment. See if you can keep the shoulder grounded. Good. And then I'll come back up. Good. And then once you're ready, so we'll just do a midair switcheroo here. Good. So right knee can be bent or extended long. Do what feels best for your back. Gently pull in this leg, this left leg. Keeping a micro bend in that knee. Upper body is on the floor. Good. Refocus onto that breath. And this kind of ties in with worst case scenario thinking, but
For today, I'm okay. My life hasn't changed very much since yesterday or last night. So I'm safe. I have all of my needs met, and that may be enough for today. And that's okay. And then we'll gently release both pieces of the strap into the left hand. Both hips, both shoulders will stay grounded, taking that left leg out to the left. And then wiggle around here to find your best spot. Again, if this opposite hip or shoulder are popping up, we're not ready to go that far out. So lift it up a little bit. And we'll gently bring that back up. Then we'll extend this other leg. Now switching out the hands. And start to kind of wiggle that over to the other side. And find your best spot. And then you decide if you're going to stay there or take the twist. You choose. And once you're ready, good, we'll come back up. And we'll switch out. Good. And we will release. Good. Okay. The knees into the chest here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to do one more little thing here. So I'm going to take my feet to the floor. I'm going to grab my block. Now you can take your block in the lowest setting or the middle setting. You choose. You just want both sits bones and the tailbone to all be supported. It's very hard to do that when you're at the highest setting. So find where that would feel good. And you don't have to do this with a block. You can also do this with a cushion or a folded blanket as well, especially if you're sensitive in the low back and being on a hard surface isn't comfortable. So now once up here, I'm going to roll my shoulders back. And then one leg at a time, I'm going to bring it up into tabletop and bringing my legs up here. This is a modified legs up the wall. It's very grounding. You've been on your feet all day or something like that, I highly recommend this. Reverse some of the blood flow. Breathing. Now, from here, I'm going to give you some options as well. If this feels great to you and you want to be here longer or you want this to be your Shavasana position, you can certainly stay here. This is also great done up against the wall. You don't have to worry about, if your legs are going to fall or what have you. But those of you that are ready for Shavasana and would like to take that more traditionally, good. You can go ahead and bend your knees here. Take one foot at a time to the floor. Good. And once both feet are on the floor, good. Lift up the hips and remove the block. Good. We'll bring the knees into the chest. We'll rock, rock, rock side to side here. Good. So for my Shavasana, you can bring in any props that you would like. I'm going to bring in my blanket here for a neck pillow. Good. And I'm just going to kind of roll around. Good. Getting myself about 10% more comfortable. Knees can be bent. They can be long. You can let things flop open if that would feel good to you. Can also be on your side or on your belly. Not everybody can relax on their back. So feel and go to where you need to go. And then the final thought here that I will give you is I free myself from the fear of the unknown. I free myself from the fear of the unknown. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take the head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness or inviting movement of the fingers and the toes. Choosing stillness or bringing the knees into the chest, grabbing behind them. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way that you may have used during Shavasana time. And maybe extending your legs out long in front of you, arms out long behind you, and finding a nice full body hug. Or not a full body hug, but a full body stretch. You can also hug yourself too if that's a better option right now. And when ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to the right or the left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, and then whenever you're ready, carefully pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sitting nice and tall, taking a big breath. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. We'll reach, reach, reach. Touching the palms together. And as we exhale, we'll touch the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you know you can always come back to this practice and any type of breathing practice to regulate your nervous system and reduce anxiety. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.